Good evening and welcome to the 53rd Commencement Ceremony for John F. Kennedy High School. Tonight we celebrate the accomplishments of our senior class, the class of 2020, as they officially begin their lives as adults. As we sing in the Kennedy alma mater, let us focus on the memories of those happy days as we experience a virtual ceremony for the first time. We are proud of all of our seniors and wish them the very best.
Good evening. I'm Ajay Ali, Student Government Officer. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which stands one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you for joining us tonight. At this time, I would like to introduce Harry Zob, our 2020 Student Government President.
Thank you, Haji. First, I'd like to extend my thanks to fellow graduates and their family members for attending this ceremony and all of the staff that were able to organize this event. Somebody asked me, why are you upset that school got canceled? I wish I would have canceled a quarter of my year when I was in school, and at first, I didn't know how to answer this question. The stress of studying for tests and turning in assignments was no longer there. And while trust me, and I've tried to enjoy that part of it, that doesn't compensate for all the moments and memories from our senior year that we lost. Prom, senior skip day, spring sports, walking the stage, the little things, like seeing your friends every day and having the opportunity to say goodbye to your favorite teachers and classmates. I think most of us couldn't wait for school to be over with in early March, but now that we will never hear the bells at Kennedy High School again, who really still feels that way? Of course, there's no way we can go back and change the circumstances of our senior year, but what we can do is take the lessons we learned and will learn from this pandemic to better our own lives. This pandemic and the isolation that it caused for so many of us just proves how instinctively social we are. So once this is all over, I ask you all to spend time with your friends and family. Don't get absorbed in your own work, whatever it be, but enjoy the little things in life. Tomorrow isn't promised, so live today. I know it sounds cliche, but these sayings are cliche because they're said so often. Or because they're true. There's one more saying I wanted to touch on before I pass the microphone. A chain is only as strong as its weakest link. Our lives were composed of things we could think of as chains. Society as a whole, our communities, even ourselves. So often we work to improve the strongest links of our chains and willfully ignore the weakest links. So I also ask of you, what are you doing to help the weakest link? I'm not only talking about charity and volunteer work, but things as little as checking in on the mental health of a friend or loved one. Being kind and understanding to one another can make all the difference in this world. That's all I have for you. Thank you for your time, and of course, congratulations to the class of 2020.
Good evening. My name is Madison Yaslin, and I'm a senior class officer. Kennedy High School is blessed to have a great fine arts program. We take great pride in our bands, orchestras, and choirs. Despite a shortened season, our music program still enjoyed several successes. The Kennedy Vocal Music Program had another great year with 2 All-Staters, multiple caption awards for Happiness, Inc., and Moonlight Express was again a finalist in the Iowa Vocal Jazz Championships. The John F. Kennedy High School Marching Band began their season with their first ever appearance in the Bands of America Regional Championship in Cedar Falls, competing with bands from across the Midwest. Their competitive season took them to Linn-Mar High School, Kingston Stadium, to co-host their own show, and then another Division I performance at the State Marching Band Contest. The season closed with a top 10 finish at Valley Fest in Des Moines. The band had an outstanding showing at the Iowa All-State Festival in November. 7 band students were accepted to participate and 2 were selected as alternates. Jazz 1 also had a student accepted to perform in the Class 4A All-State Jazz Band. Congratulations to all the band students on a phenomenal year. The Kennedy Orchestra had 3 students accepted for the All-State Orchestra, 4 students participated in the Northeast Iowa Honors Orchestra, and 2 seniors capped off 7 consecutive years of being selected to the prestigious Metropolitan Orchestra Festival. The orchestra officers led many community outreach projects, performing at St. Luke's Hospital, churches, the downtown library, and schools. COVID-19 may have altered the way we connect through music, but it didn't stop the orchestra. Orchestra officers and leaders gathered for Google Meets and searched for ways to create music outside of school. They made recordings for younger students to play along with at home and kept in touch with each other. They wanted to preserve their favorite performance of the year, and at the end of our ceremony, you will hear what they accomplished. But now, we will begin with the Kennedy Band performing the Star-Spangled Banner.
Good evening. I am Ali Juma, Student Government Officer. The class of 2020 would like to take this opportunity to say thank you to the people who made their 4 years of high school memorable. And a special thank you to our very own Ashton Nick, who produced this video.
would probably thank Mr. Anderson. He's just always a funny guy, always has good stories to tell, and doesn't take things too seriously sometimes. And kind of nice to get a break from thinking.
We want to thank Miss Malone, Mr. Hayes, and Mrs. Ritchie. And then I want to thank Mrs. Rubis and Mr. Ziegler. And I want to thank Miss Finley and Miss Becker. Y'all are the G's.
I'd like to thank Mr. Horton for being so influential on my high school career and my future.
I'd like to thank Coach Lewis for always pushing me and being somebody that's easy to talk to, and also Mrs. Merritt for being the coolest math teacher.
My best memory from the last 4 years has been state wrestling, and just being in the environment with the coaches and the guys is so much fun, and I really enjoy it.
My favorite memory from the last 4 years is definitely state swimming and diving my junior and senior year.
My favorite memory has been getting to go to all the football and basketball games with my friends.
Thank you to the Kennedy staff and whole Cougar family for cheering me on over the years.
I would like to thank Miss Fisher because my sophomore year she helped me so much. I was like down ways, I had a lot of things to do, but she stayed with me and helped me out with a lot of things, math, writing essays. Basically, it was like one of the best time of the year with her.
Yeah, my favorite memory was just making new friends. Ever since freshman year, I've made a lot of new friends and liked them.
I would like to thank Paige Shields because she's been my best friend for like a long time. And then shout out to my parents because I could not have been here without them.
I don't know, I just had a lot of teachers that kind of just believed in me and just told me I could do more.
Fires a shot on goal. Nice save by Sam Earl.
Caron Hedred, who placed at the state track meet last year as a sophomore, running 10.8 in the 100 meters.
Sparing the town the same fate as the Phantom, Urinetown.
My favorite memory is all my time with volleyball, basketball, and soccer teams. Teammates and games are just really fun.
I'd like to thank Coach Pack for just being someone to talk to and being a kind of motivational figure. And I'd like to thank Mrs. Bowers for just being a really awesome teacher and helping me out whenever I need help.
Definitely Rubis. You have been my favorite math teacher, can I say that?
If I were to thank one teacher in particular, I'd have to thank Miss Vargas. She likes my drawings a lot, and she has inspired me to become a better artist over the years.
Yeah, I'd like to thank Miss Rubis. She's the nicest person out there.
Also thank you, Miss Rubis. She's the most wholesome person, a most wholesome math teacher, super nice and super friendly and a great teacher, and she loves what she does.
I'd probably go with Mr. Anderson. I had him for A-Push, and he did a really good job that year, and he was cool, and he was easy to talk to, and I loved that class.
We'd like to thank Mrs. Rubis, Mr. B, and Mr. Horton for always supporting us and making us laugh.
We also want to thank Mr. Young for his long classroom rants and helping Olivia and I laugh off our bad grades.
The teacher I would most like to thank is Miss Finley because she's always been there for the 4 years that I've known her, had her all 4 years of high school, loved being in art with her, and she was always the teacher that I could just go to and would be so supportive of me.
I'd like to thank Mrs. Bowers for also helping me through all of school.
Thank you, Jenny McAtee.
Gracias a Señora Harder por todo lo que hace por nosotros en la clase de español AP.
I just want to thank my parents for getting me where I am today, and also Storm Ziegler for being kind of like my motivation through this year.
My best memory is perhaps all the support and friends I've gotten.
I would like to thank Mrs. Casper for genuinely just being an inspiration to me and also giving me such a creative outlet in her classroom, both inside and outside of school.
All teachers at Kennedy are the best, and thank you all teachers, counselors, everyone here, and I really appreciate all of them.
My favorite memory, that's hard to choose. Probably all of my memories in show choir. They were just like, it was like a whole new environment, and it was really nice to like be in that.
I think every single teacher I've had for the past 3 years I've been at Kennedy, because like they've made class, like the experience worth living.
My best memory definitely has to be making friends in my language classes.
I'd like to thank Mr. Hollander in particular. He's a very fun teacher, and I've had him through several years, and he just makes the class nice, and he knows to get on my case when I need to do something.
For me, I will thank Mr. Bohr. Well, I have him for 4 years. Like the relationship between me and him just kind of more like a friend, more like the teacher, and he is a really nice guy, always support us.
I'd like to thank Miss Mead for teaching me new card games.
I'd like to thank Mrs. Casper and Mrs. Marzin for being supportive inside and outside of school.
I'd like to thank Larry Big Cat Williams, Miss Collins,
Mr. Viz, Mackenzie Casper.
My favorite memory has got to be when I do theater with all my friends. It's really fun, and I love them all.
I would like to thank Mrs. Ritchie for always putting up with me every morning and always having a really positive environment that I could go into. I'd like to thank Mrs. Marzin for always supporting me in speech and my scholastic endeavors and trying to make the school a better place. I'd like to thank Mr. Hayes for helping me rediscover the path that I wanted to take in life. He always would try and push me to be the best version of myself that I can be, and especially to Mr. Ziegler for giving me a home in the choir department and for being a good role model. I hope to make you all proud in my future endeavors.
I'd probably like to thank Mr. Ziegler. He's been a very big influence for me, not only in music, but as a person as well.
I would like to thank my mom, the Killebrew Ernst family, Dan Ryan, my teachers, and my administrators for all of their support.
Probably favorite moment of high school was making Happiness. I've been wanting to be in it for a long time, like before I was even in middle school, so it was just a really happy moment when I got in.
I just want to say thank you, Kennedy Men's Soccer, and all the teachers and friends who helped me get to where I am today.
Our favorite teacher is not Tolly.
I'd like to thank my parents, all my coaches and teachers for helping me get to where I am today.
I'd like to thank everyone at Kennedy for making my high school experience great. Thank you.
I'd like to thank my parents, family, and friends for their constant love and support, and Zig, Hayes, Ritchie, Marzin, Malone, and Rubis for all of the opportunities, memories, and care that they've shown.
Thanks to everyone who has helped me, parents, family, friends, and that's all.
My best memory is probably doing soundboard for Young Frankenstein. That was probably my favorite show I've ever done.
I want to thank my family, my friends, and everybody I've met during my time here.
I think I'd like to thank both my mom and dad and then my siblings, because my older sister set a really good example for me, and she was always there supporting me and cheering me on. And then my little brother has just been one of my really big supporters too, and my parents obviously really made this all happen. They're the reason that I guess I am so successful in high school.
I would like to thank my softball teammates, my parents, and Miss McAtee.
Thank you, Ms. Becker and Mrs. Howard, for being so kind and inspiring. You guys are the best.
I wanted to thank Rahexky, Mr. Maimon, Mrs. Didier, Mr. Ferrante, Mr. Heeman, Mr. Law, and my parents.
The teacher that I'd like to thank is Carolyn Sensei, overall for just being a good teacher, but also for being dorky and silly and making lessons fun.
Thank you to my family, friends, and teachers for always pushing me to work my hardest and get to where I'm at today.
We just have one more question. Are you ready to leave Kennedy?
Shoot, that's gonna be a hard one.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm ready to leave.
Yes. Peace out.
Yeah, I
I'm excited to see where I go next, but I'm also sad leaving because it's just something that you just get so used to.
For Kennedy, I'm ready to leave.
The future is scary, but I'm excited for it.
I'm ready to leave and start a new adventure.
I think it's really bittersweet to leave behind all of the amazing teachers and memories that I made here, but I'm ready to start something new.
Yeah, I am. And it's because it's been very good at preparing me for what's after it.
Hello, administrators, faculty, families, and most importantly, Kennedy's class of 2020, or as I guess I can address you now, graduates. My name is Curtis Ratzer, and as class president, I'm honored to be able to speak with you all, just with a little more distance than usual. I never thought I'd be sitting in front of a camera, filming a speech to be played for you at home, but I guess that's what happens when a global pandemic ravages the world. I think we can all agree that COVID-19 changed our lives, crushed our dreams, and affected milestones that my classmates and I have looked forward to since we first stepped in our respective elementary school doors. Around the world, graduations have either been canceled or in the same online virtual graduation boat as us. And I'm guessing most speakers at these graduations will choose to talk about how COVID-19 changed us, made us appreciate each moment more, and robbed the seniors of moments we are entitled to. I fully believe in all those statements. It's just I feel I can maybe reach each and every one of you a little more personally if I go a different route. Each and every one of you I'm speaking to now has been through vastly different experiences while coming in contact with different individuals that have molded and shaped you into the person you are today. There are moments in each of our lives that impact us and in turn could impact others when shared. Let me share some of my impactful moments. At the end of my 5th grade year, everyone got an autograph book. There was a picture of our class on the inside, then a bunch of blank pages for each of us to sign or write a message. We passed them around and gave them to our favorite teachers to sign. My 2nd grade teacher, Mrs. Stusak, wrote, "Shoot for the moon and you'll land amongst the stars." When I read this, I probably gave some response like, "Ah, cool, I get it. Shoot high. Even if you missed, you still accomplished your goal." But I always thought to myself, how am I supposed to get to the moon? It wasn't until junior year when I was sitting in Mr. Hoyer's pre-calc class that I figured it out. There was a quote on the wall that read, "Start by doing what's necessary, then do what's possible, and suddenly you're doing the impossible." As we enter the next chapter of our lives, you might have doubts. You might be nervous or maybe just searching, but I think we can all learn something from that quote. You see, just start by doing what's necessary wherever you may be. As you grow, you'll begin to reach out and start to do what's possible. After that, you're suddenly doing the impossible and reaching the moon. Sure, we all shoot high, have a dream, goal, or aspiration we strive for, but I feel like most of the time we get caught up in the end result. To get to the top of the pyramid, there are a lot of steps to get there. It's just like high school. I remember back to being a freshman and getting through my first finals and thinking there's no way I'd be able to do that 6 more times. We all had to hunker down and embrace the journey to get to graduation. It took small steps of completing homework, quizzes, tests, and finals while competing in sports, the arts, and clubs. But we all embraced the journey to get to where we are today. Down the road, try and remember to not get caught up in the destination. But remember, it takes a journey along which lessons are learned, challenges are faced, and memories are made before you get to the moon. Another impactful moment occurred when I was walking down the hallway freshman year. Mr. Corey stopped me. He asked me a simple question. What are you going to do today to make your teammates, classmates, and those around you better? I was shocked at first, surprised he asked me this random question in between classes. I remember responding with something like, being a helping hand to those in need. He responded with something like, all right, nodding his head in approval, but I think he could really tell he had sparked a storm in my head. I couldn't figure out why he'd asked me this question. What more could it mean? What answer was he looking for? The summer before sophomore year, I read a book by John Gordon, The Power of a Positive Team, and finally figured out what Mr. Corey had meant when he'd asked me that question. In the book, Gordon explains that if you want to improve, you have to help those around you become better and grow themselves. While helping someone else improve, you are also improving yourself because you are relearning everything you once learned back to the nitty-gritty details. You sharpen your skills while helping someone else. What I want you all to take away from this is we all have something to give. I encourage you to share what you know with others because your knowledge is another person's question. We are all now entering different fields, taking different paths, and entering the next phase of our lives. We will meet new people along the way, and I encourage you to find the right time to share with them what you know. Teachers and classmates have shared their knowledge with you for 13 years. Now it's your turn, pass it on. Just remember, you can only learn something when you close your mouth and take the time to listen to what others have to say. So share your knowledge with the world, but also allow the world to share its knowledge with you. My final moment to share with you occurred in 8th grade when I was sitting in algebra before Thanksgiving break. My teacher, Mr. Clark, asked everyone to put their work away, put their phones down, and if there's one thing we should listen to him say all year, it should be this. And right now, I'm going to ask you to do the same. If there's one message you take away from me, let it be this one. He told our class a story about how his big brother was someone he looked up to, how they were best friends, but most importantly, how they loved each other. But Mr. Clark never got to tell his brother he loved him before he passed away at the young age of 34. He told our class how they would talk every day over email, the phone, and some days in person. But they never told each other, I love you. Mr. Clark thought his brother knew he loved him. He didn't need to say it. He told us how he wished he would have told his brother, I love you, while he was alive. Just 3 simple words that mean a whole lot more. He then asked our class to tell those we are close to that we loved them this year at Thanksgiving. I would be grateful for this as it would forever change my life. I told my parents I loved them, but it had never crossed my mind to say it to anybody else. Guys don't usually say stuff like that, but they knew I loved them, right? But what if they didn't? That Thanksgiving, I broke down and called my godfather, Uncle Frank, a cousin, and others and told them I loved them, something I'd never done before. A year later, my Uncle Frank passed away at the young age of 37. It destroyed me, but I found peace in one thing. I'd been telling him I loved him for a year. Over our 4 years at Kennedy, maybe some of you have lost loved ones. Good friends have moved away, or relationships in your life are not what you'd like them to be. I beg you to reach out to those that mean something to you. Send a text, call, or just tell them in person, because you never know when you won't get the chance to anymore. Let those people know. Our connections with others make us into who we are. I'm thankful for each and every one of you I walked the halls of Kennedy with because I wouldn't be who I am today without you. Class of 2020. Our senior year has been one that no class before us has ever experienced. We've made it through and we're ready for the next chapter. Congratulations, and as always, go Cougs.
Good evening. I'm Elizabeth Marlowe, Senior Class Officer. It is often tradition at presidential inaugurations, at celebrations for arts and literacy accomplishments, and at signature events to select a poet laureate. The poet is commissioned to create and deliver a poem for the event. Kennedy High School also has the tradition of selecting a poet laureate for our commencement ceremony. I would like to introduce Flora Kafunda, our poet laureate for the 53rd commencement of Kennedy High School.
Good evening. My name is Flora Kafunda, and this is my poem, Gaia's Gift. We were born gifted, bestowed by the mother of all life, blessed by Gaia, gifted. Talent came as second nature. Like muses, some sing to make angels jealous, others calm the departed, dancers on the edge of a world within worlds. Rhythm and heartbeat become one. Movement becomes like wind flowing, graceful perfection. Point by point, step by step, as the muse's aria crescendos, the dance climaxes. Like the next Hemingway novel, plot by plot, blooming excellence. Like Picasso and Van Gogh's paintings, the dancer finds a rhythm in the rhyme of a poet's words, a painter's palette. The eloquence of a storyteller, the logic of a mathematician, the methods of scientists. We were born of excellence, forged in the fires of struggle. Dreams born in 4 years, but which last eternities of destinies unknown. Roads yet to be discovered, journeys yet to be embarked upon. We will embark towards destiny as we roll like cougars, covered in green and gold, the paint of perfection. We roll like cougars, we are muses and scientists. We are mathematicians and storytellers. We are dancers, poets, and painters. We are the forever generations, children about to start journeys, yet uncharted, with maps of destination drawn in our minds, clouded by unknowns. Destinies foretold, unwritten fairy tales and bestsellers. We are cougars, marching into the unknown, covered in green and gold, and we will prevail.
Good evening. I am Katie Jensen, Student Government Officer. Students at Kennedy are committed to academics. Throughout our 4 years, there have been many ways to celebrate our achievements. I am pleased to announce that this year there are 34 students graduating with the Graduates with Distinction honor, 29 salutatorians, and 42 valedictorians. It takes tremendous commitment to academics to earn the status of valedictorian. Students must earn at least a 4.165 cumulative grade point average. A 4.165 is between the letter grade of A and A+. The member of the class with the highest grade point average gives the valedictory address. Tonight, it is my pleasure to introduce our valedictory speaker, Elizabeth Stone.
Thank you, Katie. Class of 2020. You know, our high school years were supposed to be like 2020 vision. Perfect. We had so much going for us. We started out as over 500 strong. We were surprised that we would receive money for college through Gear Up. And, most importantly, our graduation year was a nice and even number. Our graduation was supposed to be a significant milestone in our lives, marking an end of our high school years. However, being born in the shadow of 9/11, we are no strangers to adversity. I think it's safe to say that this year, although it has not been our ideal way of finishing high school, has given us an opportunity to learn and grow in a way that we would have never been able to at school. We are learning that we can overcome anything we set our minds to. Throughout the past 4 years, we have not only learned, but we have matured and overcome countless obstacles. Freshman year was a big step up from middle school. The building seemed so large then, and I was genuinely afraid of being trampled in the hallways. However, we adjusted quickly and prepared ourselves for the long journey through high school. We tried new activities, played sports, and met new people. Unfortunately, the first of many hurdles to overcome happened sooner than we would have thought. 2.5 months into our freshman year, all of our schedules changed. Smart Lunch was replaced by Smart Time. This was a great disappointment that provided good material for our improv teams, but after seeing all that we have been through since then, this setback was only the tip of the iceberg. Fast forward to senior year, when we thought the worst thing that could happen was losing Smart Time. Instead, we lost so much more. We lost the last 3 months of our senior year. We lost the last season of our spring and maybe even summer sports. We lost performing in our last show choir competition in Nashville, and we lost our spring musical. We lost our senior recognition night, and even prom was postponed. We lost senior skip day and the senior walk. Our families are suffering from economic losses. We are battling physical and mental illnesses. The list goes on and on. Our lasts happened before we were ready to appreciate them. We were shoved abruptly into this weird pandemic life. However, we are learning lessons that no one could have anticipated we would have this year. We have overcome so much, and we will continue to overcome every hurdle in our path. Throughout the past 4 years, we have been so strong. Our class has done some amazing things. We supported each other in our darkest times. We were there for each other, mourning together when we lost loved ones, like Mr. Neese, our friends, and our family members. We came together to serve others and help those in need. We filled up the Cougar Corner to help our classmates and gave our blood, sweat, and tears to our community, sometimes literally. We are not afraid to speak our minds, and we will stand up for what we believe in, no matter who will criticize. And in this strange time, we have learned that we are stronger because of this. We have learned that we can support each other in any situation, even when we cannot be face to face. We have learned that we need to appreciate the importance of people in our lives because we never know how quickly we can lose it all. I want to thank all of our teachers, coaches, administrators, and staff for their dedication to all of us in this difficult time. Even though we may have lost our last 3 months of high school, you continue to instruct, support, and reach out to us. You have remained steadfast in this time of uncertainty. Your jobs are incredibly demanding and have become even more so during this pandemic. Though your efforts may seem greatly underappreciated, you all have made such a large impact on our lives and made us into the people we are today. Thank you, Mr. Horton, for teaching us the importance of a good night's sleep. Thank you, Mrs. Rubis, for bringing us cake and letting us play games to connect with our lessons. Thank you, Mr. Klein, for finding a different way each week to say, "It's game day." Thank you to all of our teachers for helping us develop our work ethics, achieve our goals, and prepare us for our futures. With all of this craziness happening around us, I think it is important, now more than ever, that we continue to be there for each other and not take anything for granted, because our experiences, relationships, successes, and failures have helped shape who we are. Through all of the ups and downs of our high school years, we have overcome and accomplished so much together. We won our games and went to state. We performed our hearts out on this stage. We were devoted to our clubs and we excelled in our academics. We defeated the other classes in our pep assemblies. We have served our communities and dedicated ourselves to our jobs. We have so much to be proud of, and there are too many achievements to even list them all. Whenever you think that this year was a disappointment, remember to look at the bigger picture. Even though we have had great losses over these past few months, there is so much that we have gained. We have become stronger people for it. Our futures are now brighter than ever, despite all we've been through. We might have not had the perfect high school experience, but as they say, hindsight is always 20/20. When we arrive on the other side of this adversity, we will see that with the support of our classmates, faculty, friends, and family, we have emerged even stronger than before, ready to take on any future obstacle. I mean, if we manage to carry around those Chromebooks for most of the year, surely we can achieve anything. Congratulations, class of 2020, and one last time, go Cougs.
Our class has endured the loss of classmates, faculty, and staff, friends, and relatives throughout our 4 years at Kennedy. At this time, please join me in a moment of silent reflection to honor those who have passed on. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Lauren Short, Senior Government Officer. This year, Kennedy will say goodbye to 4 staff members who have had an amazing impact on us. Because they're leaving as we graduate, we consider them a part of the class of 2020. Jay Goodlove. Mr. Goodlove graduated from Kennedy High School in 1980 and was hired in 1986 to teach business education. He taught accounting, business law, and keyboarding, and was the assistant boys swim coach. Those duties grew to include girls swimming and diving. He taught at several other schools, changing with the times from keyboarding to computer, then added activities coordinator and facilitator to his resume. But in 2011, returned to Kennedy in the role of attendance and learning supports facilitator. He also leads the Above and Beyond program and is a job shadow and internship coordinator. You see him out in the hallways urging students to get to class on time and to do their best. He knows students by name and gets to know their families. He's an advocate for all students and will do what he can to help them. Mr. Goodlove has always enjoyed being outdoors, and in his retirement, he will continue to help his parents on their farm, enjoy more time for hunting and fishing, and more time with his wife and children. Mr. Goodlove says he'll miss the staff and students, the sense of family that we have here at Kennedy High School, and being with talented and outstanding people here in our halls. Mr. Goodlove, we will miss you too. Linda Halser. Mrs. Halser is also an alum of Kennedy, graduating with the class of 1982. She came back to Kennedy in 2013 and now is graduating again in 2020. During her time here, we have been fortunate to have her in almost every department, co-teaching and working with students on the skills they needed extra help with. She has also been a department chair for special education, advocating for her fellow teachers. Mrs. Halser's retirement plans include traveling and camping with her husband, walking her dog on the nature trail, reading, and getting together more often with family and friends. She plans to come back to volunteer and be a substitute teacher, and she has hinted that she will use her culinary talents to make lunch for the staff. Halser on Hot Wheels. We look forward to seeing her. When asked what she will miss most about Kennedy, she replied that it is the people that she will miss the most. Every day there are smiles, there is laughter, there is support, there is camaraderie, there is kindness, there is respect, there is learning, there is strength. I see this in students and all the staff, teachers, paras, custodians, and administrators, lunch staff, secretaries, security, counselors, everybody. The beauty of Kennedy is that we are there for each other, and that is so hard to find. And these are the things Mrs. Halser also embodies. Thank you for making Kennedy a better place. Susie Ross. Mrs. Ross started working at Kennedy in September of 2010 when her daughter was a senior. She wanted to spend more time with her daughter and followed her to school every day. But when her daughter graduated, she didn't stop coming to school. And now, 10 years later, it is finally time for her graduation. When she first started, she said, Dr. W found tasks to keep me busy, but students know Mrs. Ross is the one to see about parking, lockers, announcements, clubs, signing up for events, reserving rooms, and many other things regarding day-to-day administration of the building. In addition, staff are often pleased to find fresh baked goods at her desk. She plans to spend more time with her grandchildren, riding her tandem bike with her husband, and finding more recipes on Pinterest to bake with her friends and family. She will miss the staff. She shared, 98% of the time coming to work was fun, since you never knew what each day would bring in the main office. Always Cougar proud. Thank you, Mrs. Ross. Mr. Williams. Mr. Williams has been a part of Kennedy for many years. You cannot think of any sporting event or the senior bench without thinking of Mr. Williams. Mr. Williams started at Kennedy in January of 1995. Before that, he worked 10 years at a high school in Illinois. Among his many jobs here at Kennedy, the one he is most proud of is being the assistant varsity basketball coach for 21 years. Mr. Williams has always been a caring relationship mentor. Throughout his career, he has found opportunities to share knowledge with future generations. The Kennedy community is truly fortunate to have benefited from Coach Williams' experiences. And it's not just those in the court that have benefited from Coach Williams. There's a security that students find from knowing Mr. Williams is at Kennedy every day. When he retires, Mr. Williams plans to enjoy time to relax, play golf, and travel. He thanks everyone for the memories and says he will miss everyone. Thank you, Mr. Williams, for all you have given to Kennedy. Go Cougs. And now, please welcome Senior Class Council Member Isaac Scott.
Thank you, Lauren, for that introduction. Good evening. My name is Isaac Scott, and I am a senior class officer here at Kennedy. I'd just like to say, go Cougs. With that said, it is my honor this evening to introduce you to the Cedar Rapids Community Schools Superintendent, Noreen Bush. She has a message for the class of 2020. Thank you.
Of 2020. As I reflect on this eventful day, while all of you gather broadly via the virtual world and are hopefully close with your families, I keep thinking how special the class of 2020 will always be to the community and to history. At this time in our history, our nation has experienced loss, and many of you I know have endured things too. So now, more than ever, let's honor what you all have gained during the last 13 years of your school life. While we may not have the usual celebration and arena of a traditional in-person high school graduation, we have not lost the spirit of celebrating you. We want this day to be distinct and extra honorable. Why? Because history has made you even more special. An unexpected event swept across the world and landed at the end of your senior year. But you were resilient, strong, and resourceful in the final months of your school journey. Your bedroom or kitchen table became your Google Meets haven, and group chats were your lifeline to others. You tackled emotion and wisdom during this very unique time. And you are so greatly admired by all of us here in the Cedar Rapids Community School District. It was sometimes hard, wasn't it? I know these days nothing really feels easy, but let's take a moment to place that aside and celebrate a major event that feels so very easy to focus on right now, honoring our class of 2020 graduates. You are history in the making, and we could not be more proud of you. To our families, community members, coaches, sponsors, and staff that have guided these students along their academic journey, I hold deep respect for your mentorship, care, time, and guidance that led these young women and men to this important moment in their lives. Graduates, as an alumnus of the Cedar Rapids Community School District, I share your enthusiasm tonight. I remember well the pride in this moment. Enjoy your graduation ceremony video and know we are cheering you on as you walk across the stage and into the new adventures where you can begin to build your own unique history. Board President Humbles, members of the board, ladies and gentlemen, these members of the Kennedy High School class of 2020 have met the requirements set forth in district policy and state law. Therefore, we are, at this time, prepared to present them with their diplomas.
Good evening. My name is Abby Feldman. I'm a student government officer. It is my pleasure to introduce to you Nancy Humbles, Cedar Rapids Community School District Board President. She joins us this evening to help celebrate the class of 2020.
Hello, students and families. I'm Cedar Rapids Community School District Board President Nancy Humbles. On behalf of the Board of Directors, we welcome you to our celebration of the class of 2020. When schools had to close their doors during the pandemic, we all made a vow not to close our hearts to the beloved students we serve throughout the district. Our concern for our seniors has been of special significance. That is why we work diligently to provide you a virtual celebration to honor the class of 2020. We love celebrating you. At no other time in our history have we been made aware of the positive difference schools have on our sense of community. We've watched so many dedicated people within the district make a positive difference during this historic time. And I know it's important to me that each and every day I focus our board efforts on making a difference in the lives of our students. Graduation time illuminates the opportunity for you to think about making a positive difference in the lives of others. As you launch into a new path forward, remember that your future will be enriched by caring and supporting others along the journey. So go out in the world and make a difference. And please know, we are here to cheer you on for all the adventures you have waiting before you. Congratulations, class of 2020.
First, I'd like to welcome everyone to tonight's virtual commencement, and I would also like to wish a very special Eid Mubarak to those of you that are celebrating the end of Ramadan. We were going to have a special treat because our commencement ceremony was taking place during the start of Eid, and very much wish we could do that, but want to wish that to you before I start. Today is the day where we talk about grand things, about big dreams, emotional memories, about the expansive possibilities of the future. Commencement is always the start of something significant, large, daunting. Yet it is something so very small that has cast a shadow over these last few months, a shadow that appears to be itself much larger than the tiny virus that has upended our world, dashed the last few moments of your childhood, absconded with your precious lasts of high school. We often don't pay attention to the small things. Very common phrase you may hear probably is don't sweat the small stuff. If it is small, it's probably not worth your time. As a culture, we revere the great people in our history who have made big, giant impacts on all of us. We look at the major crossroads of history for examples and lessons. We seek the large and walk past the small. But maybe not anymore. And maybe that is the enduring lesson your generation will help infuse into our culture. It is not the big people, the leaders and experts and politicians who are making a difference today. Of course, they are important, but all of their proclamations and recommendations are meaningless if the small among us, the families who are sheltering at home, the individuals who are wearing masks in public, business owners complying with distancing rules. If the small among us do not do our part, then those recommendations and proclamations, again, are meaningless. And it is the orderlies and the nurses assistants and the clerks and the first responders that are really the heartbeat of our medical care system. No offense to the doctors out there, but like principals, you don't get much done without the people who get much done. So I doubt that I can provide for you, the class of 2020, much of a deeper lesson from all of this mess than what you are gleaning for yourselves. If you haven't said the words, "This is not fair," yet, I'm proud of you. But I also don't believe you. Your parents told you how life and the world isn't fair. You knew that going into all of this, but I'm certain that you truly understand that now. I'm also sure that we are growing weary with the pats on the back, both virtually and metaphorically, no touching, while someone tells you, "Don't worry, we're all going to be better people for this when it's over." And that may be true, but it doesn't really help now. No, right now, you need to know this isn't fair. This isn't right, and you got a lot taken from you. No one gained it by taking it. There isn't a perpetrator in this scenario, but you are a victim of circumstance, and that hurts, and it is okay to have those hurt feelings. In fact, I'm not going to tell you how to feel. You have every right to be sad, angry, disappointed, discouraged, and you equally have the right to feel hope. Hope is the precursor to joy, and there is no doubt we all need to try to feel joy. You have the right to be positive. You have the right to be a light for others stuck in darkness. And in your generation will, in my opinion, be the light our world needs to arise from this crisis. We don't know how dark the tunnel we are in will get, nor do we know its length. No tunnel is infinite. No darkness lasts forever. Things will get better. Humanity will find an end to this crisis. We will prevail. Some of us feel hope now. Others will feel it when the darkness starts to fade. Still others only when they start to see the tunnel's end. However you feel today, do not lose sight of all that you have accomplished. No matter what has been or will be lost, no one can take away from you what you have already achieved. I am immensely proud to call you Kennedy graduates, and I wish you the very best, class of 2020.
Good evening. My name is Tasha Gilkison, and I'm a senior class officer. Before we begin to congratulate tonight's graduates, on behalf of the class of 2020, I'd like to extend a big thank you to Lori Mead, our Gear Up coordinator. Throughout the past 4 years, she has been alongside our class, helping us reach our goals and dreams. No matter your situation, Mrs. Mead has opened her arms to you and strived to help every student obtain a bright future. She advocated for every student and pushed us to achieve what many of us could have never imagined. Thank you for your constant love and support, and we will forever remember the impact you had on our high school careers. We are honored that today, Mrs. Mead will be presenting the class of 2020 as we walk across the stage. Thank you.
Alexis Aris. Bailey S. Aben. Zaina Abushar. Sydney Lee Adams. Kayla Audrum Wright. Andrea Alfaro. Haji Wandimu Ali. Nayan Aminata. Joshua Anderson. Isabella K. Anderson. Andrew Arbor. Grace Archambault. Seth Artolino. Ryan Arnold. Zach Atkins. Richard Bays. Draven Baldwin. Cherish Banks. Tremez Banks. Jackson Barker. Brandon Barnes. Brock Barnhart. Brianne Boffman. Drake Beauregard. Caleb Bell. Mia Bickle. Ashley Bisson. Ronald Gavin Black. Haley Bohm. Riley Bolsinger. Wolfgang Amadeus von Borchard V. Olivia Bowden. Garrett Bowers. Cade Bowers. Vashanti Bradford. Austin Brannon. Reagan E. Brody. Macy Briner. Avery Bullock. Laura Bungie. Jason Burkhart. Isaac Busta. David Butler. Morgan Butchie. Conlon Michael Byers. Colin Califf. Seeger Canny. Sam Carlson. Mariah Carper. Jake Carter. Anna Cater. Amy Chady. Jalen Chalmers. Caleb Chamberlain. Braden Chambers. Brandon Michael Charper. Darren Clark. Jaleese Clark. Marshall Clark. Amari Emily Coder. Christopher Contreras. Evan Copley. Ryan Corrigan. Lane Cortez. Paul Corey. Mariah M. Cox. Leah Crilly. Laura Kroc. Carson Curry. Joy Curry. Olivia D'Amico. Ryan Daly. Philip DeVille III. Jasmine Davis. Heidi De La Ochavez. Elizabeth Dennis. Julia DePamphilis. Regan Deputy. Holden DeVore. Devin Anthony DeWitt. Jarrett Dighton Bressler. Isabella S. Dipple. Irma Disdervick. Braden Dolphin. Destiny Ray Dostal. Shayla Drawley. Chris Dreismeyer. Maxwell J. Drish. Tyler A. Derling. Emily Dersher. Nathaniel Eads. Samuel Christopher Earl. Kylie Marie Easton. Trey Ellens. Adham El-Shatawe. Emma Eltsey. Elizabeth Diane English. Abigail Enos. Adonis Exum. Kylie M. Fairbanks. Dylan Falk. Abigail Farrington. Abby Feldman. Sloan Larkin Faring. Keegan First. Liam Fitzgerald. Estefany Flores. Leticia Flores Hernandez. Claire Fluent. Alexis Fonseca. Reed Foster. Carly Fox. Alexander Frank. Kaylee Jean Freeman. Alex D. Freytag. Caitlin Fuller. Daniela Garcia. Eileen Gavin. Cody Gibbons. Megan Ann Gifford. Cameron S. Gift. Tasha Gilkison. Mason Patrick Ginther. Emily Getzinger. Caitlin Goldsberry. Elaine K. Gossman. Shamarion Harold Graham. Michael Grebe. Declan Green. Jacob Green. Caleb Green. Rebecca Green. Christine Elizabeth Griffin. Taylor Griffith. Jillian Groshella. Jonasi Habi Aramana. Ethan Mitchell Hale. Annabelle Carol Hollum. Elizabeth Heyman. Olivia Hamblin. Caleb Hampton. Matthew Hand. Braxton Harbin. Tyler Harmer. Mackay P. Harris. Olivia R. Hartz. Riley Grace Hatfield. Gage M. Hawkins. Avery Heinrich. Annika Heldman. Tyson Henderson. Kiran Aubrey Hendred. Jonathan Garcia. Emma Harold. Olivia Herring. Tawny Hess. Colton Hoynish. Lindsay Hill. Jacqueline Hinojosa Garcia. Alexander Hockaday. Benjamin Hager. Kate Hoheisel. Michaela Hops. Jackson Hornet. Cheyenne Howe. Cameron M. Hoy. Chloe Hoy. Jordan Humbert. Ashley Christine Hurrick. Brandon Hutchins. Nazar Igram. Isaac Daniel Inan. Ashlyn Ingram. Sabrina Jackson. Thomas Jackson. Wesley Jackson. Joshua Jacobs. Nolan B. Jacobs. Kelsey Yeager. Allison Jansen. Tristan Key Jansen. Elizabeth Janus. Drew A. Jensen. Katie Jensen. Corbin Jensen Sena. Alexia Johnson. Jalen Johnson. Lindsay Johnson. Kaylin G. Johnston. Addison Jones. Mackenzie Joseph. Ali Juma. Jennifer Kaz. Lauren Keck. Flora Kafunda. Kasibo M. Kasha. Yusuf R. Kadamesh. Sarah Elizabeth Kaufman. Brecken Keller. Wyatt Keller. Isaiah Paul Kelly. Meadow Kelly. Alan Kim. Kaylin R. Kinney. Madeline Kirscher. Caden Klein. Allison Kloos. Natalie Knapp. Stephen Koff. Tanea Kovac. Emily Kroll. Mitchell Kragel. Hannah Krejci. Christian Kronfeld. Cameron Kruger. Mary Kristofiak. Cade Kennan. William Kula. Raven Lewis. Matthew Lichtai. Noah Patrick Lohr. Haley Logan. Kirsten Ashley Logan. Colton Loveland. Aziza Lubosha. Brandon Luing Tron. Sophia Malcolm. Isaiah Malley. Kira Manuel. AJ Marino. Elizabeth A. Marlowe. Ethan Marple. Eric Martins. Alyssa Martin. Hugo Martinez. Dominic J. Martino. Elena Mason. Sydney Maxa. Gavin McAdam. Joseph T. McAllister. William M. McCauley. Alexis McQuistion. Brenna McCrae. Keegan M. McCrae. Amir Mead. Nathaniel Mead. Sophia Carolyn Meador. Cade Christian Miedema. Osvaldo Mejia Montez. Matthew Mepelink. Kennedy Madison Myers. Joseph Mikulik. Lucas Middlecoff. Gracie J. Malota. Kayla Miner. Zubaida Mohammed. Maria Mooney. Cameron Moore. Echo Morrow. Nathan James Morton. William Mosier. Angelini Mubake. Mallory Murphy. Morgan Murphy. Sierra Murray. Cardell Muse. Ashton Nanke. Gabriela Navarro. Delaney Nesmith. Garrett Newman. Michaela Newman. Madeline Niemeyer. Eric Niakuli. Hannah Novak. Colton O'Brien. Madeline O'Brien. Nicholas Olmsted. Quentin Olson. Jay Ostendorp. Max Packingham. Carter J. Palmer. Keegan Palmer. Eli Park. Cade Parker. Dylan Taylor Parks. Rossi Patton. Branson Pearson. Amara Pelly. Miguel A. Pena. Tyler Perry. Cody Fluhop. Brittany Pham. Nancy Pham. Jonas Pingle. Ellie Pins. Hannah Pleehall. Emily Pope. Ella Campbell Popenhagen. Shantanu Pothapali. Sadie Louise Powell. Brandon Pulls. Caitlin Quaid. Ethan Raid. Cheyenne Railsback. Kylie Jaslyn Railsback. Curtis Ratzer. Cameron Ray. Hannah Retz. Noah Retz. Joe Release Reyes Perez. Maya Rayons. Caden Reynolds. Cameron Grace Razorback. Carter Maxwell Rykoff. Cortez J. Riggins. Bryce Rinkenberger. Darian D. Robertson. Kayla Robertson. Tristan Robinson. Kelsey Rote. Alex Roth. Serena Rupert. Noah Sackett. Rodrigo Sagastume. Teresa Salyers. Andrew P. Schaefer. Jacob Shaw. Bailey Schlacky. Taylor Schlacky. Parker G. Schmidt. Alyssa Schmitz. Mallory Schultejohns. Rachel Schultz. Riley B. Schwab. Bobby Joe Scott. Isaac Scott. Joseph Scott. Aaron Selk. Olivia Seibert. David Sufferlin. Andrew J. Shea. Dylan P. Sheely. Paige Shields. Ollie A. Sholity. Lauren Short. Lance Schertz. Jackson W. Cyclica. Marlene Sickles. Jeremiah Simon. Nicholas Singleton. Cecilia Maria Scatoni. Joe Scatoni. Carly Smith. Gabe Smith. Hodger Smith. Caden Smith. Henry Suppy. Skylar Sparks. Abby Spoor. Leroy Square. Zachary Stallman. Kylie M. Stombaugh. Lauren Elizabeth Stengel. Katie Stark. Raylan J. Stecker. Carly Steenrod. Jackson Michael Steichen. Trenton Steiny. Tori Steen. Skylar Marie Stinger. Elizabeth Stone. Madison Straight. Allison Straight. Justin Stribling. Brooklyn Stute. Joshua Robert Stufen. Ethan Sullivan. Levi Sullivan. Justice Surratt. Rose Swadek. Aaron Simmons. Ashlyn Tanner. Alina Nicole Taylor. Chaz Taylor. John Tedesco. Brendan Tufel. Sam Thomas. Aaliyah Ann Thompson. Bailey Thompson. Matthias Timmerman. Austin A. Tone. Jamie K. Trumpold. Weston L. Turner. Ethan Turner Wilson. Brendan C. Tetrup. Adele Twing. Gage Underwood. Caitlin Vogger. Austin James Vandersea. Joshua Viss. Caden Walk. Madison Wagner. Miranda Wagner. Gunnar Womry. Alec A. Welshmeyer. Caleb M. Wenzel. Trenton Wheatley. Alexis Wheeler. Josh Wary. Joshua White. Hannah Wieland. Jaden Wiley. Trinity Wiley. Logan Williams. Carter J. Willis. Mitchell A. Wilson. Nadine Elizabeth Lynn Wilson. Stephen Wilson. Haley Jada Winders. Katie Wolf. Kaylee Wanis. Emma Wood. Josianne Wood. Gabriel M. Wright. Isabel Wright. Madison Yoslin. Chen Quan Young. Joshua Edmund Young. Kyle Young. Thomas Zapital. Xander Ray Zaruba. Happiness Zawadi.
Just a small town girl living in a lonely world. She took the midnight train going anywhere. Just a city boy, born and raised in South Detroit. He took the midnight train going singer in the smoky room, the smell of wine and cheap perfume. For a smile I can share the night. It goes on and on and on and on. Strangers waiting up and down a boulevard, their shadows searching in the night. Street lights, people living just to find emotion. Everybody wants a thrill.